In a political landscape increasingly dominated by the resurgence of Donald Trump's influence, former Vice President Mike Pence is carving out a unique and unexpected role. Once a steadfast loyalist to the 45th president, Pence is now emerging as one of the few Republicans in Washington willing to publicly challenge Trump's policies and rhetoric. This shift marks a dramatic evolution in Pence's political identity, as he positions himself as a defender of traditional conservative principles in the face of Trump's populist wave. Pence's political advocacy group, Advancing American Freedom, AAF, has become a key vehicle for his efforts. The organization recently spent nearly $1 million on advertisements opposing Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Trump's controversial pick to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. Pence has also been delivering speeches, urging the administration to stand with long-standing foreign allies, lobbying members of Congress, and authoring opinion columns that critique the direction of the Republican Party. This weekend, Pence took to social media to share an article he wrote more than a decade ago on the limits of presidential power. The post came in response to Trump's recent assertion that he who saves his country does not violate any law. The move underscores Pence's growing willingness to confront Trump's expansive view of executive authority, a stance that has drawn both praise and criticism from within the GOP. For Pence, this role is particularly striking given his history. With Trump as vice president, Pence was known for his unwavering loyalty to the former president, even in the face of intense scrutiny. However, their relationship fractured in the final days of the Trump administration, when Pence refused to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election, a move that Trump and his allies had pressured him to make. The fallout from that decision has defined Pence's post-vice presidential career, as he seeks to redefine his place within the Republican Party, a delicate balancing act. Pence and his team at AAF are careful to emphasize that they are not adopting the Never Trump label. Instead, they describe their mission as one of principled conservatism, advocating for policies that align with long-standing Republican values, while raising concerns when the Trump administration deviates from them. "We're calling balls and strikes here," Pence told the Associated Press in a recent interview. "We intend to praise the administration when we agree with it, while raising concerns when we don't. Our goal is to advocate for the timeless principles that have defined the Republican Party for generations. These principles include a strong national defense, American leadership on the global stage, limited government, fiscal responsibility, and traditional social values." Pence believes that these ideals have been overshadowed by the rise of Trump's "Make America Great Again" populism, and he is determined to use his platform to champion them once again. Opposition to Trump's cabinet picks one of the most visible examples of Pence's willingness to challenge Trump is his opposition to several of the president's cabinet nominees. Pence's group vehemently opposed Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has since been confirmed as Secretary of Health and Human Services, citing Kennedy's past support for abortion rights. AF is now turning its attention to Lori Chavez-DeRemer, Trump's pick for Labor Secretary. Pence's group has accused Chavez-DeRemer of being overly pro-union, a stance they argue is at odds with conservative principles. In the coming months, AAF plans to focus on increasing military spending, reducing the federal deficit, making the 2017 tax cuts permanent, and persuading Trump to reconsider his tariff policies, which they believe harm American allies. A cordial but complicated relationship despite their policy disagreements. Pence insists that his relationship with Trump is not personal, The two men shared a brief but cordial exchange at the funeral of former President Jimmy Carter earlier this year, a moment that was closely watched by political observers. "The president and I had a very cordial exchange," Pence recalled. "He was coming down the row in front of us at the National Cathedral, and he said, 'Hi, Mike.' I stood up, extended my hand, and said, 'Congratulations, Mr. President.' I could see his countenance soften, and he said, 'Thanks.' Melania reached out, and I said, 'Congratulations, Melania.'" Pence emphasized that he has long since forgiven Trump for their differences at the end of their administration. However, he acknowledged that those differences remain unresolved. "The president still holds the view, to my knowledge, that I had some authority that I did not have under the Constitution or the laws of the country," Pence said. "But from my heart, I've prayed often for advancing American freedom." In his interview with the Associated Press, Pence outlined his vision for AAF and his role within the Republican Party over the next 4 years. He described his mission as being an anchor to windward, a phrase he borrowed from Herman Melville. "The wind blows in the direction of more government," Pence explained, "and I think it's the role of conservatives to anchor the party so that when the wind blows, you put the anchor to windward to stay grounded. Hopefully, we can do some small part to hold the ship of state on the principles that really minted my career in this movement." For Pence, these principles include a strong national defense, American leadership in the free world, limited government, fiscal responsibility, economic growth, the right to life, and traditional values. He believes that these ideals are the foundation of the Republican Party, and that they must be preserved, even as the party evolves. A return to conservative roots. Pence's efforts to challenge Trump's influence reflect a broader struggle within the Republican Party over its identity and future. As Trump's populist movement continues to dominate the GOP, figures like Pence are working to steer the party back toward its traditional conservative roots. This tension was on full display at the recent Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, where Trump's allies dominated the stage, while Pence and other traditional conservatives were notably absent. Despite this, Pence remains committed to his mission, using his platform to advocate for the principles that he believes define the Republican Party. "I still think that these are the timeless ideals of the Party of Lincoln," Pence said, "and so I want to do my part, even as a former elected official, to use whatever remains of my bully pulpit to be a champion for those principles." The road ahead is as the 2024 election cycle approaches. Pence's role within the Republican Party will likely continue to evolve. While he has not ruled out a presidential run, his immediate focus is on shaping the party's policy agenda and ensuring that traditional conservative values remain at the forefront of the national conversation. Pence's willingness to challenge Trump represents a significant shift in his political career, one that could have far-reaching implications for the Republican Party. Whether he can succeed in his mission to anchor the party to its conservative roots remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: Mike Pence is no longer content to remain in the shadow of Donald Trump. In a party increasingly defined by loyalty to Trump, Pence's willingness to speak out marks him as a rare and courageous voice. As he continues to navigate this delicate balancing act, Pence is proving that even in the age of Trump, there is still room for principled conservatism in the Republican Party. This expanded version of the article provides a deeper analysis of what Mike Pence's evolving role within the Republican Party, his policy disagreements with Donald Trump, and his efforts to champion traditional conservative values. It also includes additional context and quotes from Pence's interview with the Associated Press offering readers a comprehensive understanding of this pivotal moment in American politics.